I woke up this morning and I thought I was stuck in a nightmare. I got out of bed. I had my phone on Do Not Disturb because I'm not trying to wake up in the middle of the night to someone calling me. I go to the bathroom and I start scrolling on the toilet. And the first thing I see when I scroll is LeBron joining the 76ers. I immediately got up, had to sit back down so that nothing would fall on the floor. And then I took a moment to take it in. I took a moment to realize that LeBron is a 76er. That's insane. That's crazy. The GOAT is a 76er. He's been on 4 teams now. Well, he's going to be on 4 teams once he plays his first game as a Sixer. And I'm being hyperbolic. It's not a nightmare. But as a Lakers fan and as someone that really respects LeBron's game, it is sad to see him leave the Lakers. You know, I'm not a LeBron fanboy. I'm not going to rip off this jersey and have a LeBron Philly jersey underneath. I'm a Lakers fan at the end of the day. But I would love to see a Lakers and Philly final. I think that would be perfect for the NBA. So NBA, get onto that script writing. Write that down right now. I know y'all are making the schedule, finally putting that Christmas game. And I'm putting a 90% chance that Christmas or opening night is going to have Lakers versus Philly. All right, I'm calling it right now. But I really just wanted to talk about the fit with LeBron James in Philly and why that probably was his best choice. So, right here, I got LeBron's statement. All right. I mean, I first saw it from Shams, but on Twitter he did, or X, I should say X, okay. Jaylen Brown also tweeted hashtag throw the ball up. But this is LeBron's statement on X. I thought I was done when the season ended. I wasn't ready to announce it, and I knew I needed some time to really decide. But I was pretty sure that I played my last game. I was honest at that last press conference when I said I needed to look at myself and decide if I still love, decide is spelled wrong. Sorry, LeBron. But you can't be having misspells in a tweet with 13 million views. Decide if I still love the game. I still truly love this game, and I have more to give. The last few weeks have been special. I've never been able to have no clue what to do, and to take real time to just think. I've had an incredible few months with all the people I love trying to figure it out. This is my last decision. I'm not going for money. I'm not going for my family. What am I really playing for at this point? I still want to sacrifice. I still want to work. I still want to grind. I still want to compete to win and to have a chance at the feeling of winning another championship. I believe I can make that happen with the Philadelphia 76ers, a championship team. And I am so excited to energize a new fan base and start this incredible journey one last time. Thank you, LA. Miami, I'll forever love, and Northeast Ohio will always be my home. King out. So LeBron is basically saying, yeah, he's doing it for a basketball fit. He's not necessarily doing it for the family. You know, now Savannah and him have their mansion in LA. Bronny is playing in LA. I don't know if he'll get traded. And Bryce is playing in Arizona. And his daughter's still at home playing volleyball. So that's 3 of his family members that are in LA, and then another one that is not in LA, and then him who also is not in LA. So it's not driven by a family decision, by being close to his family. And I think he is recognizing, hey, I'm getting older, my family's getting older, you know, my children are going to do their own thing, and I have to let them do that. It's something that everyone has to face, and it is something that, yeah, we have to realize, we have to see, and we have to accept. And LeBron is accepting that, and he's moving to a place where he can win. And I don't know if moving is the right word. Maybe he just gets a nice home out there. You know, he could buy it and then have it as a property, sell it out to someone else, or rent it out to someone else. And maybe he does have Savannah move in with him. I'm not sure. But ultimately, what it's about is just winning. So even if he was to just live in a hotel for a year or for 2 years, however long he's going to play. I know he signed a 2-year contract with a player option for his second year. So it's kind of looking like he's going to play that 25th season, which I think would be perfect. You know, he's playing his 24th season. It's going to be great. But I think making it that quarter of a decade, that's insane. Just saying that is insane. I know it doesn't sound that insane because we're inflated by seeing all these crazy things. But really put in perspective that he's been playing this game for longer than a quarter of a decade, but he's been playing it at the highest level for 25 years. So LeBron, thank you for your services as a Laker. I will always root for you if the Lakers get bounced. If they're not bounced and we're playing against each other, in the finals, and I'm sorry, I gotta root for Luka. If the Lakers are still playing in the postseason, I'm gonna have to root for Luka. I'm gonna have to root for Reeves. Unfortunately, you gotta take a backseat in that instance, but I will always root for you as long as the Lakers are out. And even if the Lakers are still in, I'm still gonna have a little bias and say if LeBron wins the chip, that's gonna be cool. So hopefully you're able to win another one with Philly. So looking at the Sixers starting five, you got Tyrese Maxey, VJ, Jaylen Brown, LeBron, and Embiid. Okay, so just hearing those names, already some great players. I mean, you got Maxey, who is an archetype very similar to a young Dwayne Wade or to Kyrie Irving. LeBron loves playing with these fast guards, these guys that are quick off the dribble, that can play make, that can make things happen. He loves playing with these guys. So that's already a great fit. We know that LeBron can win with these guys. So yeah, and he's always endorsed Tyrese Maxey. He's always liked him as a player. So I think that also kind of contributes to him going to Philly, just knowing what kind of person Maxey is and knowing that we can work together. Our archetype has worked together before. I know you're not Kyrie, you're not Dwayne Wade, but you're still an amazing player that fits that archetype. Then you move on to VJ, who is young, he's up and coming, and he's ready to step in right now. He's ready to step up his position right now. And unfortunately, he's going to be the fifth option on this team. I mean, maybe more so the fourth, but saying that LeBron is a fifth option, it's kind of crazy, but he could. LeBron could be the fifth option, VJ could be the fourth, but even so, that takes off some of the pressure on VJ, allows him to focus on defense, allows him to make some mistakes and grow as a player, because if he makes some offensive mistakes, then you have four other guys that can pick up his slack. But even as a young player, he's still very refined, very polished. That age is always going to come with some mistakes, some things where, yeah, you got to learn. And I think that having these guys to look up to, having these guys that are mentoring you is going to be great for his game. Then we move on to Jaylen Brown, who everyone always talks about the statistical side, that his team is better with him off the court. But basketball isn't always statistical, okay? The Knicks were down 27 points. They had a 0.1% probability to win that game, Game 4 of the NBA Finals. And they found a win in that 0.1%. So even though some of I'm thinking of Jalen Brunson now. Sorry, I needed a second to compose myself. Okay, but looking past the statistical side of Jaylen Brown, just looking at him as a player, he's a bucket. He gets things done, and he makes your offense better. Even if the counting stats say otherwise, he does make your offense better. He led a team to the championship. I mean, with Jason Tatum, double combo. But point is, he's shown that he can win basketball. He could do winning basketball, and I think that's the most important thing, besides any of the stats, besides anything else that you might read. He's contributed to winning basketball. So Jaylen Brown on this team is an amazing acquisition. They acquired him for a very cheap price, a bag of chips, and a bad contract. No offense, Paul George, but your contract is not that good. Realistically, y'all should have been giving up more to get off of Paul George's contract. I mean, Paul George is going to be a great fit with the Celtics, but at the same time, on his contract, you got to factor that in. You know, if a player has a good contract, you got to factor that in. If they have a bad contract, then it's still a great fit, but it's not as good of a fit as it could be if they were on a better contract. Okay, now moving past Jaylen Brown, not to the 4 where LeBron is playing, but to Embiid. We know that when Embiid is healthy, he is one of the greatest players. He has taken kind of a step down when he's on the court compared to his MVP season, but he's still an amazing player at the end of the day. He still produces offense, and just looking at the offensive side of this Sixers team, it's insane. They have so much playmaking, so much guys that just get buckets, that beating them on any night, especially if they're hot, is going to be nearly impossible. But if Embiid is injured, they got Adem Bona. They lost Andre Drummond in free agency. So the biggest issues I see with the Sixers right now is going to be their backup center, and it's going to be an intensity guy that could come from the bench and just light up the court. You can see that with Marcus Smart. I mean, look at someone who is not a bench player. He's a starter, but Dylan Brooks. So you kind of need that off the bench. I mean, you do have Dean Wade. You have Anthony Simons off the bench, who I think are good defenders, but they're not going to give you that high intensity that dang, this guy is on the court. He's changing the feeling, the momentum of the game, you know, like a high defensive player would. And I mean, Anthony Simons is a great player to have off the bench, especially for offense. But I think that they do need another defensive piece to come off the bench. And I think that would really complete their team. I think if they got, someone like a Mitchell Robinson, I know he just signed with the Celtics, but if they were able to get someone like a Mitchell Robinson off the bench, get a center that could fit in that starting role if needed, but also play backup to Embiid if Embiid is available. I also think that Daniel Gafford is an amazing fit. I would target Daniel Gafford. I think that he's that perfect player that just slots into this team, into the bench, and now you got an amazing starting five and you have some great depth. So the Sixers are going to be a threat in this new NBA, this new place of parity within the NBA. Any team is basically a threat, and I think the Sixers are a great threat. They are going to contend for at least 2 years if LeBron is going to play this second year, which I think he is. So they're going to be a threat for a while. And I just want to close off with kind of looking at his legacy now that he is going to be a Sixer. At the end of the day, anyone that has hated LeBron is going to hate LeBron no matter what. It doesn't matter if he came back to Cleveland. It doesn't matter if he went back to Miami or if he even stayed a Laker. They were going to find a way to hate against him no matter what. So I think that it's great that he did make his own decision on his own terms, not looking at the media, not looking at anything else besides a basketball standpoint where he wants to win. And I think that that's great. I think that that's an amazing thing that he did. And I respect it as a lover of the game, as someone that loves basketball and that can appreciate LeBron and Jordan's greatness and not have to always compare the two and just realize that the GOAT debate is not the end-all be-all of basketball. That there's more to basketball. There's more to a team just winning a championship. It's about fit. It's about roster construction. And I think that this roster is amazing for LeBron. I think it was his best option for just sliding into a role. But teams like the Warriors and the Heat, they have more glaring holes than the Sixers in their roster. No team is going to be 100% perfect. That's impossible. So I think as a basketball fit, the Sixers are great for LeBron. And I'm really excited to see him and what he could do in a 76ers uniform. I think it's going to be great. I'm excited. And I hope that he is able to win a championship, because if he isn't able to win a championship, it's going to make his haters have more fuel. It's going to make the GOAT combo even more annoying, because then people are going to say, well, at least Jordan didn't ring chase. And no, it's not ring chasing if you join a team that is well constructed, that is good for you. And Jordan could have played longer in the NBA. I hate to play this what if game, but if he had stayed longer, the Bulls dynasty was coming to an end. It wouldn't look as good as that 6-0 finals. Even if they did make it to the finals, I think they ultimately would have lost one to whether it be the Lakers or losing in the conference finals or in early rounds to the Pacers or some of these other great and up-and-coming teams. But people don't realize that sometimes as a basketball player, you just got to do what's best for you. And what was best for Jordan at that time was to just retire. He was ready to move on and let his legacy live. And he even came back a couple years later to play for the Wizards. And obviously people don't see that stint and think, oh, he was ring chasing. He wasn't. He was trying to bring more marketability to the Wizards. But Jordan could have went to a team and compete. Jordan could have went to a team and competed for a ring. And I ultimately think that would have had a better impact on his legacy if he had gone to a different team and won more chips. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe more people would see that he went to a different team and they would say, oh, he was just a ring chaser. People like seeing a player that sticks with one team their whole career. So maybe that would be an incorrect assumption. But that's where a lot of nuance happens, because LeBron did make that decision. He left the Cavs, which were a losing situation. He left it for a winning situation, which was the Heat, and then came back to the Cavs, won again, then decided, okay, I'm going to live in Hollywood. I'm going to relax. And he won there too. And I think that once he won in LA, that kind of changed the expectations, because now he was expected to win more. And now he's finishing his career with the Sixers, and that's a great choice for him. And I do hope he is able to win a championship with the Sixers, because it would do wonders for his legacy. You can't call it ring chasing if they haven't won a ring in recent memory. And even with me saying in recent memory, it's something that's kind of hard to define, because if you look at the Heat, yeah, they had won that chip, but the team that LeBron joined was way different than that championship team. So it was basically like he was joining a completely new team. I know that Dwayne Wade was still on the roster, but he was the only player from that championship team that was still producing at a championship level. And then the Heat revamped their team. You know, they got the big three, and ultimately they made a different team. So I didn't think it was ring chasing. Now with KD, he joined a team that was already a championship level team. He just made it even better. So I do consider that ring chasing. If LeBron had gone to the Spurs, ring chasing. If LeBron had gone to OKC, ring chasing. LeBron goes to the Sixers, I don't think it's ring chasing. They have not made it past the second round. You know, that's what they say about Embiid. Trust the process. The process is the second round at most. It used to just be the first round. But yeah, got to make it to the conference finals. If LeBron can help bring them to the NBA finals and win a chip, then congrats to LeBron. I'm really excited to watch this up-and-coming NBA season. And if you want to hear more basketball talk, then make sure you subscribe. All right, thank you all. And thank you, LeBron. Peace out.